Hey everybody, my name is David. I'm one of the authors for Rise Sports News. Today we're going to discuss second-year breakout stars for fantasy football. Are you always just wondering who the next big thing will be? Well, today we're going to discuss that to be able to tell you who you should keep on your radar and also who's going to be the future stars of the NFL. But this is my very first YouTube video. I'm very excited to be able to share this information with you. So without further ado, without delaying any more than we've already done today, let's get it started. Alright, so follow me on Facebook, Twitter, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Instagram to get the latest on that. Like I said, today is all about the second-year breakout stars of fantasy football. Rookies, for some reason, will have a great year, then the follow-up year on the second year sometimes it just does not go the way it's supposed to go. Don't know what it is, don't know if it's a curse. We all heard about the Madden curse. There must be a sophomore curse. But without further ado, let's get that started. Let's find out who those next big stars will be coming into the NFL season. Alright, so pretty obvious here for this one right here. Kyler Murray, quarterback for the Arizona Cardinals. He won Rookie of the Year last year in 2019. So what did they do to help him to be able to take his game to the next level? They added DeAndre Hopkins. DeAndre Hopkins is without a doubt one of the best receivers in the NFL, and they were able to get rid of David Johnson, who just did not fit the offense that they were trying to run with this team. So to be able to offload that and get a phenomenal receiver to take the replace of Larry Fitzgerald, who obviously is on the wrong side of 36 years old. You have Kenyon Drake, which is also a big deal in the midseason trade for that. David Johnson, like I said, was not fitting that bill as that running back in this type of offense that Cliff Kingsbury was trying to run. So getting Kenyon Drake was a big help for the development of Kyler Murray and the offense itself. Another good thing to note with the second-year players, especially for the quarterback position, was Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes. They both had big years. Patrick Mahomes, if you remember correctly, he had 50 touchdowns in his second year. Lamar Jackson just last year ran all over the field, had over 1,000 yards, just set the season record for rushing yards for a quarterback. So expect big things from Kyler Murray in that aspect for it. And look at those stats right there, 3,700 yards, 20 touchdowns, and also 544 yards rushing, along with those 4 touchdowns. Those numbers are definitely going to increase. He got himself in a lot of trouble last year, taking a lot of sacks and also doing a little bit too much on the offensive side of the ball. And those numbers, like I said, will definitely increase for that. Josh Jacobs, running back for the Oakland Raiders, had a little over 1,100 yards, 7 touchdowns. He did average almost 5 yards per carry, which is awesome because if you think about 1st and 10, if you're able to get 5 yards on your first down, it sets up for a lot of different things that the offense can run, and also for Josh Jacobs to be able to run all over the field. He was also number 1 among rookies for rushing yards. Another cool thing to note with him is after the initial contact from a defender, he had 717 yards after contact. Just shows you the strength, the balance that he has, the way he plays the game. And also, another side note, he only played 13 games last year. Could you imagine he played all 16 games, the type of stats he may have potentially have put up? He could have close to 1,500 yards last year and probably double-digit touchdowns if he was able to play at least 3 more games. But expect big things from him. Josh Jacobs is someone you want to keep your eye on in the future. A.J. Brown, receiver for the Tennessee Titans. He is the number 1 receiver on this team now. Last year, he was number 1 receiver among rookies in receiving yards. He had over 1,000 yards receiving that year. He was targeted 84 times, which seems kind of low for someone that I'm trying to tell you that's going to be a number 1 receiver. Just expect that to go up. Last year was his rookie year, so give him a break on that aspect. He's going to get targeted more. Ryan Tannehill, him are going to have that chemistry. Tannehill, obviously, last year, he was able to come in and put up big numbers for the team and really solidify that quarterback position and also help the development of A.J. Brown for him. He led the team in yards and receptions, so that's a very positive sign to be able to lead the team in that aspect. And also, Derrick Henry, you know who Derrick Henry is. He was a beast last year. being able to make the defense keep him honest and put 8 in the box because he can break away on a touchdown will only open up the game for A.J. Brown because he's going to probably get a lot of man coverage. Probably won't get doubled too much because mainly, obviously, with the Derrick Henry in there, they're going to have to put another safety or maybe even a linebacker inside to stop the run. Derrick Henry's a big guy. A.J. Brown's also a big-time receiver, so expect big things from him. Deebo Samuel, this is one of my favorite receivers to talk about. Deebo Samuel was targeted 81 times last year from the San Francisco 49ers. He had 57 receptions, 802 receiving yards. He was using the run game, so I expect them to kind of build him into that to be able to open up his arsenal. He's a fast receiver. He's a quick receiver. He's very agile. He can make people miss, get the deep ball. He can slide in the slot. He can do a lot of different things for the San Francisco 49ers, especially now with Emmanuel Sanders no longer on that team. He's going to be that primary target, especially on the passing game for himself. The San Francisco 49ers did add Trent Williams for Jimmy G to protect him because obviously if you don't protect your quarterback, your receiver's not going to be able to get the ball. That's just plain and simple. Trent Williams, coming from the Washington, now what they're called the Washington football team, but came from that team in the offseason with the via trade to help solidify that tackle spot and also to keep Jimmy G clean and be able to have Deebo Samuel to get himself open, deep balls, quick slants, and not have to worry about Jimmy G not getting sacked. So expect great things from Deebo Samuel. Deebo Samuel is going to have a fantastic second year in the NFL. I can't wait to see what he can do as next year. Devin Singletary, another running back on my list. Last year from the Buffalo Bills, he did split some time with Frank Gore, so I did take away some of his production for himself to get some rushing attempts. But he was going to be the featured back this coming year. They did in the offseason draft a Zach Moss, but don't expect him to take any carries away. He might take a few here and there. But Devin Singletary, hands down, will be the number one running back on the Buffalo Bills to be able to take over the workload for that. T.J. Yeldon is also no threat. Don't worry about him. He did have 151 rushing attempts on 77.5 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns. The numbers seem kind of low for someone I'm telling you should look into. But like I said, kind of going back what I just said a little bit ago, Frank Gore took away those potential for his yards for himself. So Frank Gore's no longer there. Devin Singletary enters. Here you go. He was number 2 in rushing attempts. To be able to split time with Frank Gore and still be number 2 in rushing attempts, granted it's the rookies obviously, just keep an eye on that. You want volume. Volume is something you're going to want for any type of running back, receiver, anything like that. Keep an eye on Devin Singletary. Keep him on your radar for that. Now, another great receiver from the NFC West, which is stacked with receivers in that aspect. It's probably the best conference in the division, I should say, in the NFL. DK Metcalf had 58 receptions, 900 yards receiving, and 7 touchdowns. 100 targets during the 2019 season. He was second on the team for yards and receptions behind Tyler Lockett. Kind of going back with the 58 receptions, he was targeted 100 times like I just mentioned. Kind of caused a concern being that he was only able to catch 58 at 100. Obviously 58% is not a good number to be when you're a receiver, especially at that many times, so you may have some drop balls for himself. But he's going to he's going to play bigger than what he was originally supposed to. He did last year, coming into his second year. Seattle, known for passing to Tyler Lockett. DK Metcalf is going to be that second receiver that's going to get those touches. He came into the league being the second round pick, so not much was expected for his first year, but he definitely exceeded expectations for himself and also for the team for that. But anyways, going back to kind of with the DK Metcalf, they did add Philip Dorsett. He did come in. Obviously, he's going to be on the roster. Don't expect him to take the spot of DK Metcalf. DK Metcalf is a rookie or second year coming in, so they're going to want to get the young guy in there and get in some reps for that. So, but also too, he was second behind Deontay Johnson from the Steelers in receptions as a rookie. So obviously, I mean, we're looking at rookies right now, comparing them to other people in the NFL. It's kind of unfair for that. But DK Metcalf and Deebo Samuel are my 2 favorite receivers on this list. Thank you so much for tuning in. Like I said, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter. Leave some comments. Go on my website. Leave me some comments out there. Email me, however you want to get a hold of me. Love to get to know the community. Have any questions, what you should do, who you should draft, who you want to sit. Just let me know. Tune in. This is going to be a normal thing for myself to be able to help you guys win your fantasy football